to get water instead of driving down to Cactus Valley or down to Deep Portola to refurbish or replenish your engines. So can I make a request to have them come and see everything?
Absolutely.
Because I get fire. I have an annual permit for a fire pit that I sign out, follow the paperwork, and blah blah blah.
Do that with my process?
Yes. And so I can do that, and then they could come out and say, okay, we see what you have. I just don't know how, because depending on your staff changing, I don't know if they write it down somewhere where I have an abundance of water. And I don't want, I collect rainwater. Yeah. Okay, and I have a lot of it.
So to answer your question, the fire captains do note those things.
Okay.
And then a lot of it is word of mouth. And when the guys are out training and they're out doing the things they're supposed to be doing, those are conversations when you drive by that house for a medical aid or maybe a small fire. You say, hey, there's a water tank up there where we need water. And they start building up that local knowledge. But what's interesting with us is we have such a robust workforce. We have people that are assigned here, but we have a lot of people that also work extra days here. And so being able to put that in a central location for the guys is something that I will make sure happens.
I mean, for me, it would even go to give you guys my gate code.
Okay.
I have no problem with that. If it's going to help the community up here or something that can be done quickly, right? But it's just finding that right person that is going to write that down.
So right now at this fire station, we have Captain Risto. He is the ranking person, aside from myself and my partner, Richard Tovar. Captain Robles will be out for a little bit of time, but he should be back soon. And he is a breath of knowledge for the area. He's been here for a long time and has a real understanding of what goes on around here. But Captain Risto right now is our point of contact and the person that I will be in contact with to ensure that we're utilizing the resources that you folks are providing for us.
Doesn't your 911 system allow you guys to put in who's got water, who doesn't, that type of thing?
No, I don't think so. It's more of it falls under local plans. We have local plans for our immediate response areas, and it's noted who has those sorts of water systems and things like that. The 911 system is essentially set up for dispatch. They'll say this gentleman called 911 for a fire and say, oh, by the way, I have this water tank, you can get that information. But as far as like populating on our computer screens, it doesn't do that.
Really?
No. We have hydrants. We have all the hydrants located throughout.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So the hydrant, now I didn't mean to step on you. One of the CHP that was up here fighting the Fairview fire, I got to know him pretty well because I didn't leave. Mike, and amazing that I didn't leave. Imagine that. He suggested the blue marker at the end of the driveway. Okay, but then that represents a fire hydrant. That doesn't represent.
Represents a water source.
I was told it represents a fire hydrant. So if that's true, then do I do that, or would I have to call the county to put a blue label in the center of Red Mountain?
I'm going to take your note down on that.
Okay. I'll leave my
I'm going to
car.
walk across the driveway. I've had paper, so I don't forget anything we're promising.
But you got to come back into the camera.
Voice from the outside.
So let me ask you a question, because there's a bunch of crap going on the internet as far as
You just figured that out.
as far as this whole thing.
Yeah.
And one of the things that somebody's saying is that besides you're giving salary, which you're not, and I knew that too. But the thing is they're saying you're going to, the committee is going to go around inspecting homes, handing out fines, and all this other stuff.
Absolutely.
And
False information made without fact.
okay, I'm just saying, this is the stuff that's going on.
That's not
here.
happening.
Yeah.
That is not
But-
happening.
But that's the thing, is people are listening to that.
I know that.
Yeah.
That's why I sent the email around to the whole,
I didn't get the email
you didn't?
personally, no. And I belong to her group and a number of groups.
Well, I will actually post it in Facebook in one of the groups, the whole shebang that I sent out.
And we usually copy stuff off of her site
Yeah.
for our website as
Yeah.
well.
No, the false information that has been spread around, and I'll start from the top. That was one of the informational issues. The second was that we're going to be a homeowners association and be charging dues. That's absolutely false. We're a council that has a board of directors, which are going to be making big salaries because some fire captain happened to tell her that,
Yeah.
okay? I was in contact with Iowa Fire Safety Council, and I was talking to the girl in the staff on some things that were posted on another website, the consult. She said, no, absolutely not. So,
You open up the matter, you know, the director of the job is, at the beginning of every meeting, they say how much money was earned, how much money was earned, how much is going to be expended on our hot dog cook-off, or whatever you all decide to do. Like, every bit of money that comes in is received, and you guys will have accountability.
absolutely.
And the treasurer will make those announcements at every meeting.
So you're gonna try and be a 501c.
Absolutely. We couldn't do that until we elected the board.
Yeah,
Plus, we have no money. Chris is trying to get us some startup funding so that we can do the filings. I was asked to collect money from each of you, and I said no, because that would reflect on some of the falsehoods that were being stated, that we were a homeowners association. We're charging dues. We're not. We're not a homeowners association. There are some fire safety councils that do set up under homeowners association. Malibu Lakes is one of them. Morongo Basin is another. But we're not. We are on our own. We're our own council. We are standing alone from all of that. So we have control of our destiny, so to speak.
it's just, you know, I look at that information and, you know, a lot of it just bothers me. She wrote.
Yeah,
know,
you can
we
only
talked
try
about-
so hard, you can
Yeah.
only have a battle with something on our.
Yeah.
Well, there's an agenda going on with this family, and they're attempting to destroy all the good works we're trying to put forward
Yeah,
for
No,
the
I
people in the community. So, in my opinion, ignore whatever is being said from that area, because most of it is absolutely positively false. In fact, the only thing she got right was the fact that they were going to hire some fire inspectors and they were going to be out doing inspections.
Yeah.
And that you didn't have to pay for it because it was part of your tax base. That was about the only thing that came out of that whole
Yeah.
last blast. It was even truthful at all.
no, because I mean, I had them inspect my property.
Yeah.
You know, and, I mean, you know, I wanna know what's bad.
Absolutely.
You know?
So do I. I'm a member of this community. I want to
Yeah.
know too.
And I assure you, our folks are not malicious to trying to get, you know, we're not,
Yes.
we're part of this community.
Yeah, oh, I have no issues with Cal Fire, I'll tell you.
I think, Carol, one of the things that people have to talk about, and I've been up here for a minute, is we rely on the fire department, Cal Fire Department. They're a resource, just like police are. And I got to know a lot of them during the fair. And they would tell me, we're gonna defend that, we're not gonna defend that. So we have to keep their safety in mind
Absolutely.
when we want to defend our homes in the case of a wildfire. So people, and I don't do social media, so because I would end up.
You didn't look like me for the last
You
couple
would.
of
So I just can't do it because it's real easy for people to talk behind the screen instead of.
I'm not
Yeah, so those are the things that I think we have to try to promote because it just makes everybody.
And I think that what angered me is people preying on people who don't have the means to do certain things. And what we're trying to build is an organization or a group that can assist people who don't have the means. Or the other thing. That's why we're trying to form this group. We want the community to be fire safe. Some of the comments that came out of the mouth of someone I shall remain nameless is all these dirt bags that live next door to me. They never clean up their property. Why don't you go clean up them? Why don't you go get the puppy mills? Why don't you get the dump dogs? Why don't you clean up the dead bodies that are laying in the creek? Excuse me? How can I be responsible for all of those things? But that's the kind of stuff that's being spewed at. It's very venomous, very defamatory, and very inflammatory. And I want that stopped, because I think it's a counterproductive activity that does not need to be produced.
So, I mean, I don't know if when you guys start meeting on a regular basis, as far as the goal, if you post our mission statement or an agenda. Okay, I know, we talked about that, but as far as an agenda, this is gonna be the goal of this group.
Absolutely.
To help people that may need it, yada, 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 to where all the people that are throwing negativity, maybe we'll get shut, you know? But, because what people don't know, they don't know.
Well,
So
and
they just assume.
my intention is to, eventually when we put together as a foundational organization, which we are right now, to contact someone in the media and they do a joint, thing to advise all of the community that reads the news or does anything about what our efforts are and what our plans are and what we're trying to do to help. It's kind of like, I would have a vision, I'd love to see a large animal rescue. Because I've heard rumors of this last fire, when the fire came over the hill, people would turn the horses loose. Yeah. Because they wouldn't trade it. We need to have somebody come out there and educate people on how to get their horses to load in emergency situations. I was managing a ranch anymore, had 45 horses, and the fire came down to our fence line. Fortunately, after the fire came into the property, and we had 2 hydrants that we put into the property. And Northville Fire Department, before they became Riverside County, I was working for them as a consultant. They were going to dump all their fire hose. And I said, look, I'll work 8 hours for you to give me all that hose. And they gave me the fire hose. They didn't have to pay me any money, but they were going to dump the hose anyway. So we could get reclaimed fire hose for properties that weren't very high. And some of the questions that came up too, well, the fire had to get up, they couldn't hook to my well. Well, no, because most people don't have the proper connectivity for that. So maybe some properties could. But, sometimes you have to fight these fires on your own, not that you want to, but you can't evacuate. There was 45 horses on this property, 26 acres. We couldn't get them all out. So what we did is we put them all in the fire safe barn. We had spare wrenches on each hydrant. We had the hoses ready to go. When the truck had to go in there, they said, yippee, hooked up and our property was safe. The whole place. The houses, the barns, the quarters, every horse.
Yeah, during the fire there, I heard a few people had put a bunch of their dogs in a trailer and left them be locked around up in the house. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Inhumane.
I want to read until someone comes in.
So things like that need to be developed. They're not going to happen overnight,
It's gonna take.
but they're on my vision board.
They're gonna take.
Yeah, and if you have visions that you foresee and you would like to see happen, by all means, speak up. We'll add them to the vision board, and then we'll try to tackle each one as time and money permits.
Just so you know, we're gonna have a party July 8th.
July 8th, yeah.
July 8th, and you scheduled.
Yeah, REERS, which is the Riverside County, it's the Riverside Emergency Animal Rescue System, which is through Riverside County Animal Control.